Hello everyone, and welcome back to What Business, the modded Minecraft vidcast, and I am joined as always by the wonderful Miss Crane Song.
Hello!
And the magnificent blood mage, Kieran Dave.
I see a pig, kill it!
Yeah, he was after the white enderman earlier. Don't ask.
I was after a white enderman. The video I have will prove that there is a white enderman and that he's real and that he was taunting me. He looked at me and winked and then teleported away, and now I can't find him.
Yeah, I'll
sure
overlay
that
that like security camera
flirting
style.
with you?
Huh?
Are you sure he just wasn't flirting with you if he winked at you?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna pass up on a chance for action. This has been a lonely series.
Only the last episode, and only for you.
Well, it is my feelings that I'm most concerned with. Oh man, you guys left me again! You left me again!
I'm right.
We are
I'm
literally
right over
10
here.
blocks away from you.
I can't take
Let's stand.
it! I can't take
Behind
it!
you. Turn around.
Which direction should we head
Sword
then?
is bigger than he is.
That's worrying.
It is, rather, isn't it?
So which direction are we going?
I'm gonna vote east.
Okay, let's go east.
Okay, across the wasteland it is.
I hope that we find a dungeon this time.
Yeah, we figured we probably would have found one by now. Exactly. Have we looked at like the configs yet, or?
Oh yeah. No, I mean, I looked, and they're just. What's going to happen is we're never going to get one
Why?
because when this mod pack was configured, it was not set up with extra biomes Excel support included, so it doesn't know about all these biomes. So the only chance that we have for a dungeon to spawn is in vanilla biomes. I think we're in one now. No, this is a mini jungle, so.
Ah, okay, so
Yeah.
we'd modify those at some point in the distant future to account. Fair enough.
We probably need to have some sort of interesting plot line where we totally break the world into sand, and then, yeah, if something like that.
And then Direwolf 20 comes along and teleports our big marble palace somewhere.
Yeah.
Is that the
thought
plot line
that
you're
was-
looking for?
I thought that was the part where we turned into Istrafel. Is this a vanilla biome over here?
Yeah, I mean, like, so there's like a 1 in 28 chance, I think, with the current configs of something spawning. No! Wow, that almost got really bad.
Yikes.
Clearly
That-
not
that's-
a
See,
dwarf.
this is why you wouldn't make a good dwarf.
You're right. You're right. This is what I told you when you were bad-mouthing the remaining dwarf and talking about how the species
Wait,
itself
what?
deserved extinction.
I never said it deserved extinction.
You
Why would
I said
implied
they
say
maybe
that?
picked a
strongly.
bad location, but
Yeah, you implied it strongly that dwarves deserve extinction because Crane is the last one.
Wow.
Dave, you come from the country where they routinely make like entire huge cities on earthquake fault lines.
I mean, the Earth's gonna get you one way or the other. You might as well just welcome it. Hey guys, flowers! Oh my god, I'm in. Goodbye.
Hi, Dave.
Goodbye forever. I can't. This
Just
is not like
sink to your left. Sink to your left.
Hi, you're tall.
I am now.
I don't.
There you go.
There you go.
Ugh.
It's like babysitting.
Guys, flowers!
Oh, and he's back. So, it has been a busy week, it seems.
Yep.
Transitioning smoothly into the news.
Segway!
Oh, do we get to ride segways? Is there segways we can make in this mod pack? Because that would be sweet.
Alas,
You're
no, and
so
I'm not sure how
very
they'd fare with like the meter-high gaps that we have to deal with here.
Oh, you could do sweet segway tricks and like grind and do ollies on your segway.
Oh yeah, so it was fire that was making this light over here. Oh,
Liquid fire.
and now we know. Well, Modjam 4 has finally released its results. With Calculavia's electromagnetic coherence taking first place in the overall excellence category. It Fell from the Sky by Aishin taking first place in both the most aesthetic and most inventive categories. A little bit predictable there. Progressive Automation taking first place in most balanced progression, and lastly, Harken taking first place in most innovative user interaction. Harken was
the
developed
new
by
Harken
Team
stuff.
CreativeMD and allows for voice control of Minecraft, enabling not only some interesting manipulation options, but also bolstering the ability for those with physical disabilities to play the game.
Yeah, so cool. Just cheers. Like kudos. All the kudos for that.
Yeah, fantastic turnout this time. Oh god damn it, Dave.
What? What?
That beacon,
Yeah?
would that happen to be the hut? Or would that be your rabbit hole?
I think that's my rabbit hole.
I hope it is.
Yeah.
This is
That's
why I
the
called the
rabbit
other one green.
I didn't have any dye. Okay, now I have yellow. I can make yellow.
You have lots of yellow.
Yay, flowers!
Flowers.
Guys,
Guys, I love flowers.
if we had biomes of plenty installed, I could make a crown. But I can't.
Because it's
Yeah,
not.
another piece of news that you might enjoy, Dave, is that Pokefenn has released a plugin enabling compatibility between Blood Magic and Waila,
I know.
displaying the tier of an altar and how much LP it has, among other details.
It is fantastic. It is fine that it supersedes some of the functionality of the initial, the early sigil of divination that we would normally use to see that. I think it's fine that it skips it. We talked about it a bunch. He actually developed it with Way's approval, as far as I know. And it'll be in the next drop of Resonant Rise and Yogg's Craft Complete very soon. I think actually this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think we're probably gonna have to go over water here.
Should we break this tree down and break it into boats?
That seems like a wise notion.
We
I
might
got
not
my
want
map.
to go that way because it looks like there might be taint on the water.
Taint.
I don't think
on
that's
the
taint, because it's
water.
like a deep blue rather than purple.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
See, this
So,
is how we all died. Someone just mined
Yeah,
the tree
it wasn't
out
actually
from under us.
it wasn't actually the fault of the dwarves, right? It was more like,
It was more like
because-
some stupid elf was like, "This tree looks fantastic. I'm going to destroy it."
Yeah, I'm like, we're the Undercity elves. We're like not the Drow, because the Drow are too emo. We're like the yeah.
I think
we
it's
live in-
mostly just Drizzt that's like emo. The rest of them are just straight up evil. And I'm quite
No,
happy
they're
with
all
that
emo.
fact.
They're all emo.
And our last piece of news for the day is that the Spice of Life, last mentioned in the last episode by Squeak, has updated to include a variety of compatibility and other tweaks, but also a visual display showing how much hunger will be restored by a food item in your hand, supplying a feature the vanilla has been in dire need of since hunger was introduced in beta 1.8.
True story. Oh.
Preach, brother.
Ugh, I got so much junk that we're never going to use because we're not farmers.
Well, fortunately, there's an ocean here.
But I'm keeping my
I really
cocoa.
want to farm. Don't worry, I still have a bee.
Yay!
Might not
So-
be able to farm, but we can do bees.
Anybody hungry? I'm still evidently the here. Take some steaksums.
I'd love some food because right now I have 15 berries and 3 carrots.
Here, have that as well. So make us boats, please, because you have the crafting
Ooh, a
bench.
Uh
siren.
oh. I got an apple though.
What's the key to go to rumble mode?
R. Definitely R.
Rumble mode, engage! Rumble, 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 rah, rah. Oh no! Oh god, get her out of the water.
Okay, definitely not water.
Ow. Ow.
Yeah, that's right. Rumble mode. Don't mess with these. These fists of fury, and also cutlass made of stone.
Beautiful.
Right. Boats, anyone? Anyone boats?
Great. Hold on.
I love the 3D arrows that are just like sticking out of you.
It feels good. You have one coming right out of your knee, Crane, which is just the worst situation.
I used to be an elf like you, but then I took an arrow to the knee.
Excellent.
Why
Whoa!
is there's quicksand over here?
Because there's a hole.
And you
There's
filled
no
it
one
with
else to fill it
quicksand.
with. Yeah.
No! I didn't know that there would be quicksand here. Help. Help. No, just look at me. Actually, I just wanted attention. I'm fine. I'm
So,
fine.
Crane,
Okay, that's good.
dark meat or light? So apparently we had Godzilla attack.
Nah.
Does someone want to explain how we had Godzilla attack? Because I don't recall adding him to the mod pack.
I mean, no. I think it's all you.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of, like, random things. Occasionally Godzilla.
Just kind of slowly rises from the sea, breathes fire on you, moves about of business.
Yeah.
For him, it's a transaction.
The boat! Why would you kick it?
Save the boat. We don't actually have all that many boats left.
Oh, did I kick the boat?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was frustrated.
I can't believe
Because
that you would
Godzilla.
kick my boat.
Oh,
Why
that-
would you kick my boat? What did it ever
That
do to
reminds
you?
me, Crane, in the whole, like, in the part where I was running up his rainbow tail before he, like, let loose fire, I kind of lost my sleeping bag, so I'm gonna need a new one.
I lost everything, actually, to, Godzilla.
So...
Did you just throw up wool?
Maybe?
Is that uncomfortable? I mean, I don't know how you wet wool such that
Well-
it's sufficient for eating.
Well, we were just, like, fighting a guy made of nuclear power, so...
So, yeah,
According
just-
to
just
standard
figure out
science
things.
fiction, I am now Wool Man.
Wow. Huh.
I just made a bunch of cloth slabs. So if you guys need some cloth slabs,
No, you...
What?
I did.
Not carpet?
So we have not enough
So-
materials.
No, well maybe sleeping bag. That's 1, 2, 3, 4.
So I
Yeah,
suppose...
we don't have enough. But luckily, I've been making some cotton plants. I've been gardening.
Yeah.
So we should have.
Notice the cotton takes just forever to grow.
No, I already have some.
Oh, okay. You realize that
Wait,
cotton
why
is
did-
effectively not anything useful unless it's farmed in bulk.
Or if you're looking for some interesting winter gear.
Oh, it's
Okay, here you go. Here's one.
Oh,
Here's
goody.
another.
just... Okay, someone hop in the bed. And you lying, I guess you get 2. Oh, no, I get 1 too.
Yay.
Guys, sleep outside. Sleep away
Yay!
camp. Yay!
Next to the
Sleep
beacon and the
over
plants
camp.
and stuff. So the big news for the past week that has happened in the whole Minecraft shebang is that after 3 years, Mojang will finally be enforcing its end-user license agreement.
Well, they say they will anyways.
Yeah, but that also means that they've made some changes to it recently, doesn't it?
Yeah, most of them, though, I think affect people who run for-pay servers.
Yeah, so pay the server this much amount of money, you get a diamond armor set.
Yeah.
Or pay the server this amount of money, you
Well,
are invulnerable.
That's not... Yeah, and interestingly enough, that part of it hasn't been walled off. What's wrong? Crane, talk to us. Use words.
That was a weird creeper, and it exploded and made dirt. But luckily, I guess it doesn't change farmland or crops, so
Wow.
it just kind of made a little hut overneath the farm.
Underneath, said the tree dwarf.
Of course.
because that's
that's-
exactly what a
see,
tree
that's-
dwarf would say.
Actually, yeah, that's sort of like the underground for the tree dwarfs, but it's in the trees, so it's like you can't see the sky, but you also can't find the ground. Underneath. It's
Yeah.
like it's like the Realm of Fire from
Yeah, it's-
Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman's the Runic Cycle. It had like Haplo and the Sartan and the Patron. Anybody ever read that?
Nope.
So there's like one person listening to this who's like, oh yeah, just like having their own personal never-ending story right now because someone mentioned that book series.
Yeah, but for that one person,
Yeah.
we are fantastic.
Never-ending soda. What? Okay, yeah. On the subject of
The EULA.
the EULA, the most interesting thing is that you're still allowed to, like, as far as I read it, like sell stuff.
You,
Right. What-
the way
you
that they've
can't-
put it, as near as I can tell, is that if you have anyone being charged anything from your server, everyone has to be charged the same thing. So it's either charge for access to the server or not at all.
Well, yeah.
You
except
can't
that, like-
pay for parts of the server like armor sets and invulnerability and stuff.
Well, except that it seems like content's okay to gate on. It also seems like the big thing they don't want you doing is making currency as well. They explicitly mention this. Like, you can't pay for, like, so what you can imagine is that everybody gets like 10 emeralds worth of stuff, and they could buy gear. And if everybody got the same thing, same number of emeralds, that would technically be in compliance with the EULA. But they also put in a clause that says, and you can't charge for currency to spend for things either. So you actually can't make economies at all save through gameplay metrics, and you can't gate those gameplay metrics.
Yeah, I think that was their main thing, was the gating section, really.
Can we pause for 1 second? My monitor adapter just failed.
Oh dear.
And I have to restart I have to basically unplug and replug it.
Ew.
Occasionally this happens because it overheats, because Apple makes DisplayPort adapters that are a steaming pile of garbage with a garnish of crap.
So
Wait,
all
you're
that fun that you're having with a non-Windows machine there.
In this case, yes, I am using a Mac.
Wow. Wow. I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
Well, I mean, if it's any consolation, my primary work machine is a Dell Sputnik running Ubuntu 14, and I have helped write some of the driver stuff for it. Does that help?
A Dell Sputnik?
Yeah, it's a Linux laptop. Super good. All right, let me resume that.
No, Adele, not the singer.
Oh.
Adele. No, that would be good. Actually, no, Adele.
Singing Sputnik, orbiting high.
All right, there we go. My footage received a brief interruption, but we're good. Sorry about that.
Okay.
But yeah, so you can't have currencies either, which is the most interesting part, because you would think that like actually gating currency and just giving people currency as part of their fee would be a good thing, but it's an unintended like casualty of the license the way it's written, you know?
Yeah.
It makes sense though, because I think one of the main issues that they have with it is because it's such a young audience plays Minecraft.
Oh yeah,
that...
we're looking at like under teenage years and stuff. To like even people like Tinfoil Chef who are in like their 50s and 60s.
Yeah, although, you know, the thing is that Mojang says that, but we actually don't have any real, like they say it and we have to take it at their word in it. We don't have any evidence that that's actually the case, which is the most interesting part. In fact, if you just do a survey of the published content, you know, and the forum stuff, apparently the average age is more in the mid-teens and early 20s. So it's a kind of interesting proposition. They're saying, well, we're protecting kids, but then it's not clear that like kids are actually their core audience anymore, at least on the computer platform. On the mobile platform, it's probably the case.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the thing to keep in mind is that even though they may not be the main audience, the fact that like kids are playing it and that they're like, Mom, I want to donate to the server so that I have all these privileges because otherwise I'm stuck in like a 2x2 spot, and then like convince the mom to pay on like a scummy server.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is a funny thing though, because like, why play on that server then? There's no dearth of servers.
True enough.
Yeah, but again, it's a kid. They might not know any better.
Yeah, and also their like named pig Eustace might be on that server. They might not want to leave.
Yeah, no, I understand that complaint. It's just a curious thing because, well, it sort of suggests. So this is I don't mean to get all tinfoil hatty, but you know, like Mojang is looking. Yeah, Mojang's looking at what's happening with Curse, right, and the modded Minecraft scene. And Curse is basically they're trying to take over the wikis that everybody uses. They're trying to take over the mod packs that everyone uses. They're trying to take over the launcher, and that means they're going to have access to an enormous amount of the revenue that Minecraft would generate, right? Because the actual initial sale of Minecraft, well, good revenue is not actually, I think, by any stretch of the imagination, the limit of what it could make. And you know, Mojang has to be thinking about increasing their revenue because their growth has been sort of mediocre. If you look at other companies, even companies in their own country that they are directly compared against, you will see that they are actually kind of a small player compared to those folks doing Clash of Clans who are posting like billions in profit for in-app purchases. You know, Mojang's got to be looking at setting that up for themselves because they have a fiduciary responsibility to perform well as a company.
Yeah, we're getting very political here, but unfortunately, occasionally when you're playing video games seriously, you kind of have to talk about them.
Every video game is a business, right? Like they're all run. Yeah. People don't make this just for the fun of our benefit, right? Like they don't watch and be like, "Haha, that's so great! My entire payment is that you are having fun." That's not how it works.
Unfortunately, because the economy doesn't work for it now.
Yeah, and I mean, that's fine. It's fine. It's just a question of like. Will Mojang make exceptions to this EULA? Because remember, EULAs are not ironclad. They are what Mojang is. Whatever they say it is, that's what it is. So they could go up to, you know, Sparkle server and be like, oh yeah, by the way, you guys are a partner server. Look at this new section about partner servers, right? And they pay a revenue share to Mojang, and they get special rules, and maybe special support.
See, that
You know,
would
Oh
be,
god,
that would be a
now I'm
system
just
that-
imagining the YouTube partner system as part of YouTube.
Yeah.
That would make sense. They'd probably have to add that legally though, because they probably had like a talking to from their lawyers about how like, I don't know, because it sounded like they were getting a bunch of support tickets from angry parents, which is why I think it's mostly like the small, like the vocal minority about how like these servers are making kids pay kind of thing.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I mean, ethically, I think it's good to close it off that way. You know, so I think all in all, it'll be good.
Yeah, I really do hope that they do the partner thing, because very large servers that like run on donations, like the huge PvP ones like the Hive or like Overcast Network, they like need those donations. So
Yeah, you can't run a large server. Believe me, I run a few Minecraft servers that are small, and even those take a fair amount of time.
Oh yeah.
What is going on over here? What are you doing?
Well, he
Is
chopped
this
I'm
magic?
down
Are you a
the
sorcerer?
pecan
I'm
tree.
attempting to actually get this thing to work, but I
What is it? What is
I
it?
keep doing it. It's the Rune of the Depths, which is meant to dig a tunnel downwards so we can mine or something.
Oh yeah. But
But
if
it's
you're
really irritating how it's put in the book, so it's hard to tell exactly how to do it.
well, if you're a witch,
If you're a witch, then you get an infusion.
plant and gunpowder levels, coal and lapis and blaze levels. Yeah, it requires a hole in the center, so that's what your mistake was. And this is wow. That must be client desync, because if that's what you think this rune looks like, that's funny.
Hey,
No, it's like you should see on my feed. It looks ridiculous.
Huh.
It's like 3 random pieces of plant dust.
that is strange.
Yeah.
There we go.
I didn't get struck by lightning.
Didn't go very far, but oh well, it is a low level one.
All right, so we probably need some tools. There's a dungeon around here.
There's the Naga dungeon, as we found out in the course of Godzilla.
Nungeon. Nungeon. Let's go to the dungeon.
I don't think that we're quite prepared to go to like a dungeon.
You are not prepared.
No,
But
no,
I
I'm
am.
not.
I'm
I
ready.
have,
Look, I got a spear. You don't understand how good these spears are. You could make one too.
I have like 5 arrows. I could shoot them from 5 miles away, 5 times
Yeah.
only.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that this has significantly more than 5 uses? I mean, at least 3 more.
Hmm.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh dang it! You have one of those. I want one.
Yeah, hers survived.
Oh.
I'm asleep on the roof tonight.
Okay, so then what are we gonna do? We gonna go somewhere?
I think we're mostly going to stick around and get geared up a little better.
Oh, so we're gonna
There
start
is a-
mining.
Yeah, hence the Rune of the Depths there.
There is a cave over in that direction. that
I mean,
could
we
go
didn't
and
have to get struck by
investigate.
lightning.
Yeah,
You could have
I mean,
mentioned that.
I think that you
Sorry.
had to, no matter what.
like it was pretty amusing. You gotta be
It
honest.
yeah, it really was. The noise that you made was delightful. Kind of a high-pitched keening noise.
Keening.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it shining?
No.
That's what
Right.
you think.
Well, let's go head for that cave then, wherever that is.
Let me get a little
Alright.
bit of wood for tools, because we probably want to have. Do we have any cobblestone? Because we probably want at least cobblestone
Yes.
picks to get some iron. We
Yeah,
we
I have a,
we
I
have our
a
ancestral armor, but that won't last.
Yeah, that's not
I
gonna
also
last very
have some. I also have some leftover iron. I have a single piece of leather. I don't know why that's there.
Pleather.
You
get,
are you criticizing Crane's fashion choices?
No, I said that it's a single piece of pleather. I
Let's-
have 1 piece of cobblestone.
I have 15.
All right, you
I
want to hand me
have,
some, and
like, a
I'll
stack
get
of
everybody
them.
pickaxes.
I have.
I mean,
a-
I can
I have
make
an. I have an iron pickaxe. I can probably last quite a while.
Could I have just even 2 pieces of cobblestone then, sir, please?
Yep.
Here, I'll make you a pick.
To your right, sir.
Thank you. Let's just put this
Here
right
you,
here.
Oh, here you go. Oh, come on. Come on, why are you not? Oh, right, because that has to be in there. Here you go.
Because it
Maybe
makes a
just another
pattern
one.
that you then pull inventory
Wait,
from.
have a third.
Why do you?
Four.
No, you're wasted. It's so wasteful. I can't even
Efficiency,
carry all
Crane.
this. Can't even carry all this.
Oh, mercy.
I
All right, but yeah,
can't.
we'll just bring it. Okay, so where's the cave? Where's the cave? Cave.
This direction.
Well done.
Well, that works
well.
well.
Done, Ryan. Well done.
Horse whisperer.
I loved seeing you just fly off into the
Yeah.
lagoon there.
That was like
amazing.
that was a movie moment, all right.
Yeah. Just like, nah, get off.
Up there.
Is this the cave?
Yeah.
That's a magnificent cave there.
It is beautiful.
Standing in it, I can
Yes.
barely even see Dave.
That's a different problem.
I know, my eyes are terrible.
True story. We mine for coal, we eat the coal, cause we are coal-eating elves. That's the song of my people.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you?
No!
I thought you were a sea elf.
No!
Whoa!
Well, goodbye, everybody.
I can't see what's happening
Hold on,
now.
I'll make some torches. Because you guys are like, let's run ahead.
Now, in fairness,
Crane to be
I'm down here
responsible.
because he blew up.
Yeah, well, in fairness, I touched a piece of gravel and it fell.
Ugh.
There was a suspended piece of gravel. So, I don't want any of your lip on this.
You will get plenty of lip,
Oh, dear.
and the fanfics will start from
Buy
that
me-
sentence.
Yeah, my me dinner first. Oh, my. Well, I got some stone.
Just decay.
It.
Alright.
So this is a good cave, I guess.
You guess.
Ooh,
Yeah.
salt.
My cave isn't good enough for you?
Well, I mean, it did blow me up.
Within
Let's
5
find
minutes.
your cave then.
I don't have a cave.
Oh god, that scared the heck out of me.
So you guys use the right torch system?
No, I just like randomly place them.
Nah, I prefer my torches to be wrong.
Okay.
Being right is my prerogative, not theirs.
No!
It's my
skeleton!
prerogative.
Skeleton!
Copper. You guys
Got him.
fight. I'm gonna mine successfully, actually.
Ah, another one!
So, promising mods. We've got a few.
Oh, we got so many.
Yeah. So the first one we have is Even More Utilities by Marcin2112, which adds a few scattered things, including an RF meter which moderates the flow of redstone flux energy, controls valves that can allow interaction between vanilla comparators and new Minecraft, pass cards, and perhaps most interestingly, a quarry fixer block.
What is
Which
a
combine-
quarry
which
fixer
co-
block?
It combines with the buildcraft quarries to remove liquids and block off the walls to
Oh,
prevent
yeah.
liquids from generating lag.
Yes.
This was a major problem back in the days of Tekkit.
I recall it was a major problem back in the days of Tekkit, and it's a funny thing. It sort of makes more sense in 1.7 than it does in 1.6 because who uses quarries anymore? Like the Yogscast, and that's it. Like the people who are not succeeding, basically.
Oh.
So I went there.
Skeleton, you have a shovel. How are you shooting arrows at me?
Well, you know,
You
successfully.
also look fabulous, but oh well.
Hi, Crane.
Save your life.
Hi.
Torches
I
on the
have-
right walls.
I was putting them down on the right walls.
Whoa. Ow, 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 ow.
I was complimenting you on that.
Okay.
I wasn't upset. Look, what do you think's down here, Crane? You think this is like? You think
You
there's?
sounded pretty upset.
You think there's ponies down there?
Let's find out.
Making a momentary retreat from the cave because I have oh, for the love of, there's a bow and arrow wielding zombie up
What are
there.
you doing up there?
I don't know, but apparently the wrong things.
Okay. It's safe.
Hey, look, Essence-berry bush.
Yeah. And I found two copper oreberry bushes already.
Given the extreme badness which we exhibit in this mod pack, it may be very wise for us to get those bushes.
Ah, dang it.
Special zombie.
Dot name.
Special zombie.
Holy smokes, this
know
is
where they're
probably
coming
a
from.
chasm. No, never mind. It's not a chasm. It's just
No,
the gamma of this
it's
mod
not.
pack is absurd.
Yeah.
It is like the most. Look at this. This is nuts. I have never. This is like got to be the worst footage. Like, huh. We'll cut to someone else's camera.
You underestimate my editing power.
Oh wow. I'm gonna get some tin. Hey everybody, guess what I got?
Node.
Oh dear, break it.
I found some tin as well.
Break the ore node.
No.
Yeah, do it.
That is not the way.
No, it is the way, totally. For underground ore nodes that you're never gonna find, just break them and collect the essences. For serious, I'll do it if you want.
Chasm.
Because we're never gonna come back down here. I mean, look at this place is miserable. It's dark. It's cold.
What was that?
That was me breaking an ore node.
Oh.
I got ethereal and terra essences, which are both very useful.
So next on our long list of promising new mods,
Yes.
there is
Drumroll.
Dynamic Link Panels, which is an add-on for Mistcraft, and it replaces the almost like classical black frame in linking books with a sort of preview render of the world you're going to.
It's cobwebs.
So you no longer have to put like names and signs on things, you can actually see where you're going.
Yeah. I tested it for Resonant Rise. It's very, very hard on servers.
Yeah.
And it involves chunk loaders, so probably won't be seeing a lot of play on larger servers, but especially for single player, it's a godsend. It's a fantastic idea. It's funny too because who is it? Is it? What's his name? Shoot.
Evo?
No. Xcomplis is his name. That's right. A little bit of a funny name. He was going to do this a long time ago. In fact, I remember the original spotlight I saw for Mistcraft was by Direwolf, and they were like, and then eventually you'll be able to see this, and then it just sort of never happened.
Yeah, so I've got put to the wayside, probably due to the rendering, I imagine.
Yeah, it's quite expensive. The portal gun mod used to do this as well.
Yeah, there was an option that the portals would render the next place you'd end up. But it
Crane, I'm gonna
killed
need your
servers,
help
so they had to make it
because
optional.
there's a spider spawner, and these guys are dangerous. And I'm gonna eat some zombie food.
Combine it with salt
Crane?
to get jerky.
Your turn. Your turn to
Crane?
go into that grinder.
Crane?
You don't have
there?
food, do you, Crane?
Crane isn't talking. I'm worried.
Am I lagging?
Oh no.
You're going slightly robotic.
Yeah. I'm lagging a lot.
Disconnect, Crane. Disconnect. It's safer that way.
It's dangerous to go with lag.
Hello?
Hey,
Oh, she's gone.
that's good. That's for the best because she was literally amongst a nest of spiders.
Ew. I don't envy that.
Well, I broke it though.
You did. You
I
did.
I
Fantastic.
managed to break it.
I don't have the
I-
life
I-
or the food to push like that, so you'll have to be
Here,
the one.
I have. No, I didn't hear you until you were like neck deep in it already.
Oh wow, some
That's the
fish.
last of my. That's
Sakana.
the last of my fish.
Oh wow, so good. I have 2 hearts and 2.5 chicken bones. Meat bones.
That's-
Oh, I feel so good now that I've eaten. Hey, my spear somehow cuts cobwebs. This is fantastic.
Ew.
Guys, over here, cobweb cutting party.
I need
so we
to
found
find
them.
you first.
Well no, I've done it right now. We found a mine shaft.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's fantastic for mining then.
Yeah, it's good. And we can also get actual rails, which in this mod pack will actually be quite good.
Yeah,
Have you ever-
rails are always fantastic for automating stuff.
Yeah, have you ever actually had to use rails, or chosen to use rails as a system for doing stuff?
Yes, I have, but I'm a massive redstone nerd.
Yeah, well, I mean, even if you don't have Railcraft, it's just MFR, it's still really good.
Yeah, but that sort of like cuts to our next mod actually, which is Extreme Automation by mentlerd. Has been billed by some as the return of Zycraft fabricators, includes the infantry proxy block, which can replicate interaction with the block it is pointed at, allowing you to, for example, make a chest that behave as though it had 22 faces instead of just 6.
I'm a little irritated with the way that mod's being sold, because some of the stuff it's doing, for one, it's not really the return of fabricators.
Yeah.
They behave differently. But also, which is too bad, because fabricators are awesome, and so probably Soren is never going to release a mod. So let's just put it out there, not going to happen. In fact, he's financially motivated not to do so. But the other thing, the block proxies, those have existed. There's another mod whose sole purpose Oh no.
This is an interesting statement.
No, you don't understand. You don't understand. Everything's gone terrible for me. But yes, lots and lots of mods have block proxies, including, but not limited to, refined relocation, Thaumic Tinkerer, logistics pipes can sort of do it. So many mods have done that. It's really weird to build that as a novel feature and be like, yeah, look at this. I got this feature no one else got. And that's very much how the mod's been sold. And so it's curious. It's curious. It's kind of frustrating in that fashion. Sorry about that. Yeah, I sort of was digging down, which is inadvisable, but I do it because YOLO mode.
Did you just say YOLO?
YOLO
yes.
mode. Yo mode.
Yeah, she's a fashion designer. Everyone knows this.
It's true. Also, I was talking about YOLO California.
That exists.
Zombie, be dead.
Yeah, it does actually. YOLO California.
Huh.
Welcome to the YOLO California.
Such a lovely place.
Such a lovely
To shoot yourself rather than hear the song again.
Oh, hello. Oh.
Sorry. I need to make some sticks. I'm out of weapon.
And I'm digging down to you because I cannot for the life of me find out how you've gotten down where you are.
Well, heart, faith, and steel, I think.
Let's see, I have 3 aluminum nuggets.
Aluminum.
Oreberry. Yeah, aluminum.
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 Aluminium.
No,
Aluminum.
there is no second I.
Yeah, this is actually true. Americans actually spell the word differently.
Yeah.
Now
because they're wrong.
Well, it's sort of questionable because it is true that it was originally spelled aluminium. However, we were the ones who it is, but we also were the if it were not for an American, there would be no way to practically harvest large sums of it. Which is why, interestingly enough, the Washington Monument. Oh dear, what was that?
I'm fine.
Where'd you even go? The Washington Monument is actually capped in aluminum. Did you know this?
Yes, it is.
It is capped as a sign of.
Will probably outlast most of the structure. In fact.
Yeah, it is a sign of American power and industry. Because at the time we thought that aluminum was super, super, super rare and super difficult to get. Turns out, no.
Not
wow,
really.
there's a million. There's just a million spiders hanging out right there, huh? No. I don't like anything about this situation.
Sorry, I need to make sticks for another sword.
Well, I think that something knocked me down because I'm further down than I was, and I wasn't pushing any buttons.
Okay, yeah, something knocked you down. Here, I'm gonna put a water thing for you to get back up.
Okay. Okay, but you also let down the spider.
No, the spider was going down anyway.
That's true. I guess. Struggling against the tide. We may need to Hi, lying.
Hello.
Things are happening here. Oh look, mining. We're supposed to be doing that, right? We were just having a party down here.
Yeah,
a straight party.
It was like it was a pool party, except that the pool was actually
just
a single block of water. The spiders weren't actually really good hosts, so we just kind of like ditched them, I guess.
Yeah, lots of awkward conversations.
They're like, hey, how's it going, spider? And they're like.
Yeah, all they ever want to talk to you about is like new ingredients for venom and like the state of the cobweb industry.
The state of the cobweb industry. Should we start maybe withdrawing from this madness?
There we go.
Seems like a smart idea.
How many iron we got in total? I got 12.
I have 28.
Okay.
I have 2. I just found some gold, so I'm gonna grab that.
Wow, perfect.
I just made an iron pick, so if anyone needs an iron pick, I've got it.
Mine is doing okay actually. It's kind of cool.
Dave.
I fell because I was behind you and you.
This is how people fall down.
This is why we need OSHA rules, Crane. Okay, I actually have a bunch of rails, which could be really good for us to move around, as I don't know how else we're gonna do it.
Walking.
Did you ever did you guys ever play a lot of vanilla?
Yeah, I played before mod packs. I played before repeaters actually.
I did too. I played when wolves were introduced, and that was the genesis of Better Than Wolves. That was when I was playing.
Yeah,
vanilla.
I remember Better Than Wolves.
BT dubs.
That is going back a while. That's still going actually, funnily enough.
Yeah, it is. Although I think the original maintainer has left it because of differences with the community, and now does mods for other games.
Huh, that's interesting. I might have to give those a look sometime.
Yeah. We got any more mods for us to talk about? I think
Well,
we have.
there is one that might be coming closer and closer to our heart. There is World Generation Manager by CreativeMD.
Yeah, that's the one that lets you like selectively regen stuff,
Yeah,
right?
you can select specific mods to regenerate in chunks so that you don't have to regen a completely new world or go 5,000 miles away.
Hey, Crane, let's stay focused, otherwise you'll get lost.
And it is specifically
gonna
intended for mod
cover-
packs that change over time.
Yeah, it's perfect for what we want to do. Yeah, let's do it. I think we go this way.
I think we dig up. Stupid.
No. I think
No,
actually
this
we
is
have.
this is where I came from when I fell. It's this way.
Oh.
Yeah, it's this way.
Crane, hold your lantern, it makes you easy to see.
I don't have my lantern. I don't know where it went.
You've
is where
lost
you
your
came from.
lantern?
This is not where I came from.
No, it is.
Okay.
Them things
'Cause
ain't
That's
cheap,
your,
yo.
that's your, workbench.
Oh wow, it all got washed away. That's why. My torches. We go up here.
And then you dug down from somewhere. Over here, I think.
If you come to
No.
me, we can
Where
swim
did
up
you
here.
fall down from? This is where you fell down.
I didn't want to dig too greedily and/or too deep, but
If
I
you
think
go
I
up
might
that
have.
water stream, you'll be on the next level up.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Okay.
right by the path that I had to dig to get down to you guys.
Well, this is really exciting. It's so soothing.
Yeah,
The water's
fantastic,
cool.
fantastic footage, I'm sure.
The water's cool on my junk.
Lovely!
Wow.
Thanks for that.
What? I have
How
a bunch of junk in my
poetic.
inventory. I have a bunch. No! I fell.
This isn't the Tony Awards, and you're
Oh,
not Neil
here's
Patrick
where you
Harris.
fell. I found it. I
Ooh.
found it.
Oh, wow.
It's not fair.
You even
You
left, like,
managed to get like
one
chunk
iron,
of
and then,
iron.
yeah, then you go. You pretty much dug the
God
exact...
damn it! I
That
actually
was
went
your
water
fault.
Elevator again. No, it
No,
wasn't.
here you go.
That
here you
was
go.
totally your
Come
fault.
very cool. Come
You
back.
literally stood on the
back,
same vein you
Steve.
fell through the first time.
It's difficult to have a conversation and play Minecraft at the same time. I've gotten the skill.
Don't
I guess.
dig under.
So where to now?
Now
I
we
guess
go
this
up.
way. This
I
way.
guess this way.
Ow. I'm in a cobweb. So, great
Hi,
spectator
how's it going?
position.
Yeah. That's your life now.
Ah.
Here it is.
Oh, where? I can't see you for Dave. Ah.
What? What? We don't want to. Yeah, we don't want to go down there. That's the worst. Ah, here we are. Yeah, the bridge.
Ah.
This is beautiful, by the way. Dun,
This is entirely new information.
Dun, na, 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 na.
I don't think that's the right thing.
Dun, na, 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 na. Na, na, na. We got another cool mod related to food that we got to talk about.
Yes! Do we?
Yeah.
Which one?
Whatchamacallit? The one that lets you make arbitrary food?
Arbitrary food.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm familiar with this one. You'll have to talk
It's
about
on your
it.
list.
That sounds like a mod I can get behind.
Sorry, my list.
Yeah, it's on your list.
Let me ruin my footage here. Spice of Life, actually. Spice of Life has this feature, I'm told.
Really?
Yeah. There's like a feature. Oh no, there's a feature they're working on for it that will give it the ability to take a JSON file, I think, and turn that into food.
Right.
Wait, you guys passed it.
What? Oh?
I was following, lying.
I was following you. You were
We
going
following
up.
it. We were a social construct. This is actually, by the way,
we were
like,
a blob
stupidly-
formation.
This is what we call in my vanilla days a dumb staircase. It's like the impossible to find staircase.
That's
Yeah.
That's why I put cobble at the end of it.
Okay, here we
doesn't
definitely go up.
Yeah. Well, I think we got less than a dozen iron in total. No, we're fine.
And lost most of our health.
Yeah.
Also,
And I'm
my
about to
legs
die.
are broken, and I'm crawling along the floor.
I've had everything about my body removed. I am just a torso. Don't even have a head anymore.
You are speaking by knocking the stone beneath you.
I am speaking by farting. I guess this is
How
what...
do you fart if you had everything removed?
I'm just
Actually,
a
don't
torso.
answer this question.
It's kind of grim.
He just flops on the ground like a fish.
I do the worm in Morse code.
I can't run.
And everyone just
Must
doesn't
make zombie
understand
jerky.
you, so you just like people like cheer you on. They don't realize that you're like asking for help and you're like dying. And they're just like, "Go, Dave. Go,
I don't
Dave.
want
It's
that.
your birthday."
It's the worst. So there's no food here. No, there's a little bit.
No, there is. There's food inside.
Plenty of.
I'm
In the
harvesting.
chest.
I'm trying to be efficient, Crane.
Okay, well then I'll just.
So if
like...
you're just like digging up a whole ton of that stuff, then the next mod might be helpful.
What's that?
Manual pickup by Chronothan, which allows
I
you
don't
to
know about this one.
Yeah, it allows you to alter the behavior of how your character picks up items. So you can go from the default, which is just I'm standing in a pool of items, I shall grab all of them, to pushing a button and it picks up everything around you only. To
You're shooting us.
A zombie with a bow?
now how's that for a special mob?
I hate it. It doesn't even make sense. Zombies are supposed to be like, not, haha! Right?
And last feature that you can have with manual pickup is you can push a key to pick up only the item stack that you're looking at. So if like a creeper comes along and blows up, say, here and knocks out our chests, we can use it to aim specifically at the chest.
Oh, interesting. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that is a very handy
seems-
feature, honestly.
It seems a little fiddly, though.
It's a little fiddly. I don't know if you're able to change it, like, in-game, but if you can, then it's perfect. Because then you can just have it on default normally and then switch to manual pickup of what I'm looking at when you actually need it.
Well,
I can't eat
you any
meat.
food. You
I can't eat.
meat?
Yeah, I can only eat fish, and it's an elf thing. And bread.
That's so weird. Why would you
Lembas
do
bread,
that?
specifically.
Yeah, it's lembas bread, Crane.
Like,
A single
we-
bite
we-
can fill up the stomach
we
of
have
a
the
whole man
dwarves.
for a day.
We have the torch.
How many have you had?
We feast upon tree pigs. You know the pigs that, like.
Yeah, we had a
In
conversation.
the jungles. Yeah, we encountered
We
them.
also are
The
well aware
twigs.
they're called twigs by your people, and that's very confusing because that's also the same word, like in English, that you use for the small pieces of tree.
See, it's a translation thing.
No.
It's twigs in my language, but in your language.
It's a
it means something
colloquialism.
else.
It's like Geordie rhyming slam or whatever it is.
Geordie rhyming slam?
I speak the Queen's English. I'm not used to that stuff. But it's like it creates entire new phrases to mean old things that already exist that they could have just said a lot easier.
Interesting. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's an English language thing.
Do we
We're
have
weird.
any? Okay, so do we have any
Hashtag
ore
just
processing?
English things.
Do we have any
There's a-
ore processing at all that we should do, or is it all just?
I have
We have no
copper.
AE, so
No, I mean,
Right.
like, can we make
in the
crushers?
box.
Can we make? Is there anything we can do to double our ores?
we have Tinker's Construct smelteries.
Well, I think that's probably gathering. That is our next thing, because individually smelting ores is a pain in the rectum.
Wow.
Well, it isn't a mod, yeah.
This is the
Sorry.
creepiest horse, by the way. It's just creepy pony.
Creepy pony?
Yeah, crony.
What, this guy by the tree?
Yeah, he was just staring at me and looking, and he just was. I don't know.
Silence of the horse.
I don't like the way he looked at me.
Wow. Are you
With
horses?
him like just dark and barely visible next to the tree and the rain coming down and the clouds, this almost looks like some kind of bizarre painting. Oh, and now
Can we
he's
copy
wandering out.
Someone else's painting.
The painting is gone.
And then there's Dave just chopping down a tree.
I need wood.
Which tree are you chopping down?
I'm chopping down your
okay.
prized terrible trees.
No, here's one.
Look, I chopped down a marsh
But
tree.
the horse
and
is
I'm
using
gonna-
that for shelter.
No, don't use that one.
No, he's
Yeah,
not.
that's
He's like standing in the rain. He likes to stand in the rain. Do you not understand horses?
horses.
Apparently
do not.
not.
Like to stand in the rain. They don't. They look at you with their miserable horse faces and they go moo.
See, he's like, thank you. That tree was in
Yeah.
my way.
He'd probably
He's
have a much.
dancing.
He'd probably have a
He's
much
so
more difficult.
happy.
He'd probably have a much more difficult time in the rain if we had the last mod on our list installed, which is ElectricalAge. By many, many people.
Yeah. It's exciting. I'm skeptical though.
Yeah, I'm tremendously skeptical because there isn't really all that much information about it available. But
Yeah.
what it apparently boasts is a more realistic approach to simulating electricity than the packet system that we've all become accustomed to since the days of industrial craft.
Yeah, that's actually the part I'm skeptical about. The reason the packet system exists is because it's efficient to implement, even if it's not the most efficient thing.
Even if it's not the most realistic, more specifically.
Well, or efficient. I mean, like you look at the way Redstone Flux does it. That's by far a more efficient model. But I mean, the thing that worries me about it is that, like, you look at, remember Red Power 2? Remember by Eloraam, who's, by the way, we'll talk about later. I suppose.
Yeah, we've got her in our drama list.
Yeah.
As usual for Eloraam.
Yeah, really, truly. You look at it and it's like the way, like, Red Power's power system was actually super slow, and it wasn't because it was coded badly. It's because accurately and faithfully representing electricity, even at the most basic level, is like a problem that college students have to sit down and work over. It's expensive for computers to simulate. There's all sorts of problems with it, and so for them to be like, oh yeah, we just solved this, it's sort of is like a warning sign, like, oh yeah, maybe they haven't thought about this at all. You know?
Yeah, it's.
I want to believe.
The one thing I can definitely say, like, definitively, is that it's very well modeled. More than that, I can't say anything about it.
What was it? Electric Dynamics or something like that? EDN? Remember that?
Yes.
That was also, that had the same thing going on.
There's been a sort of recent splurge of mods that have had really great modeling more than just like the old cubes that Industrial Craft dealt with exclusively.
I think that's because it is easier to include models.
Yeah, it's easier to make them thanks to Techne and stuff, and it's easy to import them thanks to various things these days.
Yeah. Also, I think that people are increasingly realizing that successful mods are made by teams. You know?
Yes. So ElectricalAge has like a dozen different people on it.
Yeah. I'm gonna handle
but
this.
They all have like different jobs and different things, and it's very well organized as near as I can tell.
Yeah.
Don't know how well they're working, but it's well organized.
Yeah, I hope that we'll see something awesome there.
Yeah, more on that in the future.
Did we talk about Harken? Did that ever get public? I know we talked about it last episode, but last episode Godzilla attacked and ate the footage.
I don't recall if we did talk about Harken. So feel free.
Yeah, well, it's basically an accessibility system for Minecraft. It lets you do voice controls for a lot of things.
Ah, yes, Hark.
Yes, Harken to me. It's really cool because
Hark. I hear the cannons roar.
We love Minecraft, right? That's like axiomatic. We love it.
Everybody loves it.
Everybody loves it. But what I think is worth mentioning is that lots of people can't play Minecraft. They don't have the capability to do so. They may not be able to. They may not have the muscular control to play, and not like in a "you're a noob" way, like as in a.
No, they may have certain musculoskeletal problems. They may have nerve damage. They may be a veteran returning from war, and they've had certain complications in the process of that.
Yeah, or maybe they can handle a little bit of it, but not all of it. And so that's what part of what Harken helps to solve is by making Minecraft more accessible to everybody, which I think is that's the best kind of mod, right? Like more players, everybody will love it. It'll be fantastic. We'll get to talk to more people that couldn't have played before. And that's just really good. And that's the best. It's not content, which made some people I think kind of disparage it, but that's fine. I think it's the best kind of mod.
Yeah, and it also adds utilities that allow that you. So what is it? You can make like a visor or some sort.
Yeah, I didn't get to play with that part of it.
Yeah, but you put it on and it shows you more details about the surrounding environment. So if you have certain visual issues, then you can be assisted in that way as well.
Yeah, it helps to render the world in high contrast and explain stuff.
Yes.
That's all I know about it. So yeah, I actually think that of all of them, that is probably the most interesting development at all. There's all kinds of cool stuff we can do. New content's always great, but actually making a mod that makes it so that more people can play Minecraft is fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's always good to get more people into the community. But then speaking of our community...
Oh boy, here we go.
So this first piece of drama is probably big news for Crane.
Oh.
Because it concerns Albury bushes. And I know you've been spending a lot of time with those lately.
Yeah.
So Tinker's Construct hasn't released an official version of this. It's released an experimental build, but it notably seems to lack the classic Albury bushes, which are suspected to be removed due to lack of use. and replaced exclusively with essence berry bushes.
That's the only one that I've ever seen used. Oreberry bushes just are hard to use.
I use oreberry bushes. I have an automatic farm.
I know.
Yeah. You've got like a nice little back wall of them.
Yeah, I use the essence berry bushes in that fashion.
Yeah, I use all of them. All of them that I found.
Should we go to sleep because it's now pitch black and raining?
Yeah, I was trying to get on the roof so that I could sleep. I can only sleep on the roof.
That makes sense.
You know how us dwarves are.
How our goofy dwarves are.
So yeah, this is going to be like a big change, because it used to be if you had Tinker's Construct installed, you'd go down into the mines and you'd find like a dozen different bushes, just some of them just hanging out in lava. But
Yeah,
now they're going bye-bye.
I don't know if I like that.
That's why it's drama.
I don't know. I found them really useful. What was their, like, it was just lack of use?
Well, the
Seemingly.
thing is, exactly one mod in the universe can harvest them.
Yeah, Mine Factory.
Yeah, nothing else can. That's sort of the problem.
Like, is it from lack of compatibility or just lack of not doing it?
Just no one makes it, really.
Yeah, and because they're specialty, Natura and basically not many mods have the right-click to harvest functionality. In fact, it's still sort of like, can you name another mod besides Tinker's Construct Natura? I'm waiting.
Harvestcraft?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's
and
free, then. And I had to think for a moment to get that one.
Yeah, and even in Harvestcraft, it's not normal. Not even, Growthcraft, similar. Most things you just break. So lots of things can break blocks, not lots of things can right-click them. And also, the berry bushes are messed up when non-players right-click them. Or rather, they aren't implemented properly. Like, you can't make a system that uses tool dynamism tablets or autonomous activators to harvest them appropriately. I tried recently one of my series, and strange things, visual glitches in the extreme occur.
Yeah, so sadly, it seems they're going.
Next up.
Next up is, as we just mentioned, Eloraam, who is known for vanishing for extremely long periods of time, such that people declare her pretty much legally dead as far as the community goes.
Yeah.
But she has recently made another reappearance, prompting, of course, the long list of people saying, "You're alive!" Saying that, given Mojang's recent proclamation that they'll be enforcing their EULA more at last, that she's no longer comfortable with actually modding for Minecraft. This comes from portions of the EULA that deny mod creators control over what their mod is actually used for once it becomes publicly available.
I had to laugh a little bit about this because, oh no, does that mean that Eloraam's not going to be modding anymore? Uh-oh.
Oh my god, what a change.
Yeah, it's only been, what, it's like over a year now? I mean...
Her most recent disappearance lasted something like 11 months.
Yeah. And even now, I mean, she's not exactly an active member of the community. So, I'm a fan of Red Power, but I don't know if I care.
Yeah, everyone has, like, well, a lot of people, I should say, because there's a lot more people who are newer to modding, have, like, distant memories of Red Power in, like, the Tekkit days. But it's been a long time since anyone had Red Power. Yeah, and I mean, like, also, the modding scene as a whole has come a long ways. Eloraam's main claim to fame was that she managed to work out a lot of stuff early on. Yeah.
Because she was a professional programmer in a world where the only professional programmers were working on Forge itself. And she contributed a lot to Forge.
Yeah, although I have a lot of issues with Forge lately.
Yeah, I mean, fair. So... it's not clear that, like, the world we're suffering under the lack of someone of Eloraam's caliber of ouch, freaking bush. Like, it's not like we're like, oh man, if only we had great modders, things would be better, because we have great modders.
We have plenty of great modders.
Yeah. So, it's sort of like that, and the fact that it's weird that modders would. Goes back to some of the discussion we've had. It's weird that modders think they get to decide how people use their mods. Like, Eloraam isn't upset about distribution, which is copyright, and that's perfectly legitimate. She's upset about use and the way it's used and modified post facto in an open ecosystem.
because Eloraam hails again from the Tekkit days, and the Tekkit guys were sort of notorious for having bad relations with the modders whose mods they used, often because they did so without permission.
I know that I've heard that there are a lot of people who are unhappy with like how AT Launcher does things, where sometimes we don't ask for permission, we just set a link up to your ad fly and sort of call it a day. And I know that that's not a popular stance either, but I mean, at some point you just have to be like, yeah, I put out a mod, I published it, and people are using it. That's the end of the story. As long as they're not making money off of it, you don't have a ton to say. So we need clay. Just put it out there. So if anyone wants to join me in the watery abyss looking for clay.
Eloraam, just to close up that last little article, Eloraam did later clarify on Twitter that nobody should be panicking because it seems that after reading more about the changes, she may have misinterpreted them.
You don't say.
So yeah, drama. So now...
I would love to see her get back, but I don't...
Oh
I
yeah,
doubt
it'd be great to see her come back. I don't know if I'd like to see her working on just Red Power again, but it'd be great to see Eloraam come back. So now we actually, we put open the email last time, asking for people to send us questions, and we have received some, strangely enough. So the first question is, how do you feel about the economic status of polar bears? A question integral to the modding community.
I think it is very sad what economics has done to the polar bears. How's that? Is that a good answer?
That is an answer. I don't know, I can't really question the validity of the answer, because as you know, the economic status of polar bears is a very strange and complex subject. But the answer...
It's actually super simple.
There are sirens over here.
Yeah, they've wandered over here, but as long as you, like, don't go too close to them, it should be fine.
They have bows and arrows. And the clay is here.
I got a stack of clay. Here you go.
Okay, yeah, so we got some clay, we got some dirt. What was it? What else was for gravel? Shoot.
There is plenty of gravel, we know that.
Here,
I had some.
I had 50.
50 gravel or 50 clay?
50 gravel.
Okay, well,
I collected a bunch of gravel to light the beacons.
Well, if you want to start, I'm making smeltery grout here. Groot.
I am Groot. Voiced by Vin Diesel in the long-standing tradition of Vin Diesel voicing nearly mute characters. Iron Giant, for example.
What's all this a Groot? Yay!
Wow.
Well done.
Wow.
Could I have at least 14 more gravel?
14 gravel I can do. It is lying in front of me next to the flowers.
This is fantastic. We'll probably have a smeltery soon.
Hooray!
Yay!
So, since we've just been talking about economics, who was the first person to ever buy something on eBay, and what did they buy? I should note I have not looked this up.
Oh, are they asking us, amongst us?
I think they're asking us.
Interesting.
Because we can't give like the historical answer.
Well, we could lie.
True.
I don't know. Have you ever bought anything on eBay?
I bought one or two things. I think I've mostly bought like anime DVDs that I could not possibly have acquired elsewise.
I always found eBay to be such a skeezy proposition.
It's
and I'm like, I had a Prodigy
it's
account, so it's not like I haven't been around long enough.
It's a slightly more visually appealing version, I think, of Craigslist, is how it can be described.
I mean, I don't know. You're less likely to get robbed on eBay than Craigslist, I think. These days.
No.
Oh man, there's like
these days they've done a lot of cracking down, but yeah.
I live, in San Francisco, near Oakland, in California, and there's a lot of scams involving, hey, we'll sell you this car at a great price, but when you show up to buy the car, they carjack you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
How amazing is that? The reverse.
That's kind of well played, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, you don't
engineer a situation where they have to bring their car and get out of it.
Yeah. It all came to light recently. It's nuts.
It's crazy.
So not me.
So Crane, have you gotten anything off of eBay ever?
No, my dad's a big eBayer, but I
Okay,
haven't had the privilege.
So altering the question then, what's the weirdest thing that your dad's ever gotten off of eBay?
Oh dear.
Because mine used to sell disco equipment on it. That's the best I can do.
He, for a while, he might actually still be doing it. There is a scam going on eBay where this guy, or like group of guys, were selling allegedly selling USB sticks, like these really fancy looking USB sticks.
Are those the
were,
ones
like,
that can like survive a
50
fall out of a plane or
500
something?
gigs or something. It was like insanely large. No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was like resistant to anything. I think it was just fancy looking and really large. And so he got one, and then he plugged it in, and it was like, it wasn't actually a USB, like working USB.
It was
So
just a
for,
stick
like-
of plastic with a USB connector.
Pretty much.
That's fantastic.
That's much better than what I was going to suggest. But okay.
And so what he was doing was that for like a year, maybe more, he would like watch the, like, of course he reported them, but they still stayed up. So he was watching the bids on those, and whenever someone bid, he would message them and be like, I bought this and it was a scam. And eBay limits the number of people that you can message, so he had like a timer on his phone that let him know when he got like his new batch of messages that he could send out to people.
Oh,
That's the weirdest thing that my dad's done on eBay.
he's mad because he cares.
Yeah.
Well, that's something at
it's
least.
true.
More questions.
Okay, more questions is, have you ever seen the Sword Art Online anime? I've seen bits and pieces of it.
I watched the whole
Africa?
thing. I've watched both
I
seasons.
did.
Yeah.
Me too.
And,
It started out so strong.
and then it kind
did.
of went meh.
And then the second season happened.
Well, at the end of the first season too. Oh boy, this is not good. Sorry.
Oh yeah, the end of the first season was.
The end of the first
That's it.
season was like kind of contrived.
But then
Like-
the second season happened. And you were like, oh, the end of the first season wasn't that bad.
As of the second season, I think the biggest thing about it was that it started out when it had all these really interesting, interesting characters, and it was this very interesting world. And then the second season, it was sort of just like a weird, like incestuous harem anime with. It was like a love triangle anime between a guy and his sister, who, by the way, is not his sister because
Yeah.
biologically, but that's not really what it's about in the first place. So it was a very strange story, and like I watched it, and I was like watching just so depressed.
And since we have seen it, how long do you think it will be until full dive virtual reality will be a thing? So dive meaning being seemingly actually in the game.
I don't think that will ever be like commercially a thing, because that would take like.
Well, it's also I don't know if
something-
we can say that it won't ever commercially be a thing, or even ever be a thing, because generally speaking, when you're talking about the future, the people that say it's 100 years in the future or 10 are going to be wrong.
Yeah, if someone says it's 5 years in the future, they're wrong. If someone says it's 100 years in
Yeah,
the future,
we're-
they are also wrong.
We're talking distant year 1990, really, kind of, aren't we?
Yeah. But, I mean, we already have, if you think about it, we have the technology to give people the ability to control things essentially with their mind.
Yeah, we've got. Well, I have cat ears that do exactly that actually, but we've got.
Can you make them do different things? Can you like voluntarily do them with those things? Or is it just a reaction?
They're more for emotive response, but it's not too hard to imagine, really. And we've seen
I know-
monkeys use like mechanical arms in the same fashion.
Those experiments are in the human stage now too.
Yeah. So we've got things like the Oculus, which give you a little weird but full like 360 view as far as your perception goes.
Right.
The guys from Node have been working on a Kickstarter for some hand control, like individual digit in-game controllers.
And we have Surgeon Simulator, which is fantastic.
Yeah. And we have there's those guys that are working on like the running platform, so you can actually like run around yourself in the game. So
Yeah.
I don't know how long it'll be before we get full sensory perception. I don't know how long it'll be until we get like tactile and such, but we already have most of the control elements down.
Yeah, well, being able to control something, like being able to read brainwaves, is a lot different than
Getting it
substituting-
directly from the person moving, yeah.
Well, no, but like substituting the reception instead of like the like actually telling the brain, okay, now you feel like you're walking forward,
Dave,
and
do you
okay,
have
now
the
you feel like
controller
you're
already?
looking around.
No, the controller. I just making the growth structures.
Okay, I'll...
There should be more bricks coming up.
Yeah, there's a few
Yeah,
more.
I agree, Crane. I think that's the big thing. I mean, the thing is, I don't know if you've heard this before, but I actually am colorblind in only one of my eyes.
That is an interesting disability.
Oh wow.
It is a rare type of heterochromatia that I have, where I actually was probably when I was a wee blastocyte, there were 2, and then we fused.
That's quite a while ago, Dave.
It is a while ago. Yes, it is. It is.
So,
Blastocyte.
so you ate your brother.
I don't
That's
know
what
if it was
you're
a brother or a sister, but it was delicious, and it left me with an eye that can't see color. Probably my brother, though, given that, right?
Or yeah, just to spite you, he left you one that doesn't work well.
I ate my sister's Sharingan. I don't know, but I am blind in one eye.
Oh, we're utter nerds.
I didn't, and I have never. I didn't know this until I was older, much older actually, because I had never taken a color test that involved only one eye. And I actually found it out because I fell. Well, it's a long story. It doesn't matter. But I see the world in color all the time, unless I close one eye and then I look away and then I look back at something. Like I actually have to seriously lose the visual image of it to have that persistence of vision go away.
Your brain has sort of a short-term memory then.
Yeah, my brain fills it in, and it's very strange when I know the colors of things, because sometimes my brain will try to fill it in even if I can't see them properly. And so I will see like partial colors because I know the color of a car or something like that.
Yeah.
The brain is incredibly. The point of this is the brain is incredibly good at synthesizing the experiences it expects. So I think that when people say, "Oh, we're 20 years off or 30 years off from fully synthesizing," you don't have to synthesize the whole thing. Your brain will do most of the work for you.
Yeah, your brain fills in a lot of blanks. People don't like. That's the reason that we're so susceptible to like optical illusions and such. It's because our brain actually sucks, but it fills in a lot of the gaps.
But I think the other thing is that you're going to have to account for a ton, programming wise, of different possibilities that the character would have to be able to do and then receive information about.
You don't necessarily have to pre-program them, but it would be a lot of work.
You could imagine a world where they're emergent. I think I made one too many of these bricks. I'm sorry. A few too many. That's okay. We'll start stacking them. But yeah, I mean, like you could. There's a ton of interesting things going on in the world out there that, in terms of experiments. But you just don't need to do that much work. Probably the hardest thing will be smell, because smell is actually very difficult to fake.
Yeah, I'm not entirely certain how we'll do that. That'll have to be as the only way I can think that you'd be able to do that realistically would be to actually start tapping into the brain and how it's defining smell. But that would involve a lot of trial and error, I can imagine.
Yeah, for sure. I could use a little bit of. Do we have any sand left? We do. I think.
I might have some as well. No, I don't. I can go grab some though if we need it.
I mean, if you play Watch Dogs or GTA, I could tell you that Watch Dogs is a world you could walk around for in a long time, and if you aren't watching carefully, it looks real. The fact that the
immersive quality.
Yeah, the random stuff occurs out there. I had sand in my inventory, and I'm super dumb I didn't see it. I mean, like the random quality of the world, the fractal quality of it is just fantastic. So they've done really workmanlike.
Yeah, although I take massive issues with the apparent interconnectivity available in Chicago, apparently.
The what?
Well, it's like you can use some of the things in Watchdog massively strain my suspension of disbelief. There are scissor lifts that are apparently things that you can. Oh god, we've got an Argus. They're coming for us again. That you can control with your mobile phone, because it's apparently GPS enabled so that your phone can discern where it is, and then wireless enabled so that your phone can actually connect to it and do stuff to it.
Well, the wireless part's not so surprising. The GPS one, I don't know. I mean, I think that the idea with the CTOS Direct Connect is that there is an optical signal being reflected that allows you to negotiate it gives you an address to negotiate a connection. So there's basically a unique ID that's actually been proposed in several cases. So could happen. It's not necessarily Mick world.
So yeah, I think to sum up this question, we don't think it's impossible, but we're wary of putting an actual date on it.
Well, also, what would you use it for? Entertainment?
You'd use it for video games first and foremost, and it would probably get a massive boost from the porn industry.
Well, I mean, I do know that there are very, very immersive rigs that were designed for drone pilots. I don't know if they're in use, I don't claim to know, but I do know that they were designed.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
The military would probably be all over it.
Yeah, definitely when it appears, it's going to be just completely amazing to watch it develop. But I'm not going to put a year on it, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it may even be already, which is the funny part, but who knows?
Yeah, military declassification being what it was. So, that brings us to the next topic, because strangely we're just flowing perfectly today. Do you believe a zombie apocalypse to be possible, and if one did happen, what would you do to survive it? So where would you go, what would you scavenge for, and who would you team up with?
I don't see how anyone could believe.
Zombie.
Yeah, how can anyone believe that zombies, like the zombies of like The Walking Dead and stuff, are so absurd? I mean, they're more like a social commentary and a commentary about the human condition than
well,
an actual
the further you read into The Walking Dead, the more it becomes a magical prospect, though, because it's like anyone that dies becomes a zombie.
Yeah, well, I mean,
regardless of how.
That's actually fine in terms of like a plausible mechanic biologically, but it's more like what what is the source of energy by which zombies derive their motion, right? Like how has a virus so radically overridden chemistry itself, right? Life is and particularly moving life is a tenuous chemical proposition, and we
can kind of look to, this isn't strictly speaking a zombie game, but we can look to The Last of Us, which jumps off of the cordyceps fungi, which does hijack ants and stuff.
Cordyceps, I think cordyceps would be possible, but that would take like...
Yeah, and it would be fungal zombie rather than dead zombie.
Yeah. It would have to be fungal zombie rather than like the you died and came back to life kind of zombie. Like it would have to be a process of you turning while you're still alive, so that you're still functioning as human, but there's something else.
Yeah,
like
the 28 days later zombies.
Yeah, the rage zombies.
Rage zombies. That's more plausible. In that case, though, I actually
in the case of the rage zombies, I am like totally screwed because there's no way I'm outrunning them.
Yeah, they're fast. They're scary.
Yeah. In terms of like classical zombie fiction, which I think my viewers probably heard me talk about a lot, the fact the speedy zombies completely break the whole like narrative concept of the standard zombie. Because now one of them is a threat rather than the entire horde, which is what they're usually known for.
Yeah, it actually, storytelling-wise, it's kind of questionable if it's a good plan.
But yeah, naturally, whatever kind of zombie you're facing will have radical consequences on your plans, but the general advice is get into the countryside, get away from the cities, scavenge for the most basic of supplies, don't get more than you can, like, run with, and team up with only people you believe are trustworthy, because more than a few people have died in zombie movies to untrustworthy allies.
I suggest getting to the chopper.
Yeah, get to the chopper!
Or just go on a boat. Just chill. Steal a yacht. Just chill in like the middle of the Atlantic.
That is not the fantastic idea you think it is.
For one, hover zombies.
Yeah, they're like next on the tech tree. They just have to spend a few weeks grinding in like the Middle East, and then they've got hover zombie technology.
Hoverzombietechnology.com.
Yeah, that's probably an expansion to XCOM somewhere.
Oh man, hover zombies. But even then, would you want to be alive?
Ideally.
No, I mean like, people talk about.
I wouldn't have my lolcats, but I'd like to be alive. That's my general kind of basic thing. In a world
like the day the day something like that would happen, right? That's an irrevocable change, right? Nothing ever comes back from the way it was. You probably have to ask yourself that question for realsies, like, do you actually want to be here anymore?
You could say that about 28 Days Later, though, wherein they do get away to the countryside and they spend several months just sort of there, reasonably safe, and they just starve to death.
Yeah, I mean, like,
so
that's the thing.
Theoretically, if you survive long enough, and assuming that the zombies aren't magical and therefore don't have to worry about rotting away to skeletal states and whatnot, they're going to die off eventually. It's sort of the long-term, it's the long plan kind of idea.
Yeah. Speaking of zombies, hi.
Yeah.
You wanna sleep?
There's a hungry zombie. Hello, hungry zombie. Oh god, I can see why he's hungry. He's like missing most of his body. I think this guy might have been self-indulging a bit.
Yeah, that's not the best for him. All right, I'm gonna sleep outside, guys. It's dangerous outside, so we should sleep. So I'm gonna sleep in my sleeping bag right here.
I'm on the roof.
In the smeltery.
Yeah. Well, no, it's safe in here. I built it.
Yeah.
It's private.
Also, I
But-
somehow managed to get someone else's sleeping bag.
That's probably mine.
Oh, okay.
But I've got the bed here. So with that, somewhat of a long episode, but I think we've covered a lot of stuff in it. I believe we shall call it an end for the day. So, I have been Lying in Bed One. This has been Kieran Dave. And this has been Crane Song.
Bye!
There's a chicken in my sleeping bag. He's trying to snuggle for heat.
And we shall catch you all next time.